much to all our guests for making us women and girls so proud of your career ventures. And of course, we hope to inspire our young people, especially our athletes, that there is a career after being an athlete. For those planning and dreaming to develop a career path in sports officiating, we have invited an expert to discuss how to pursue and grow a career path. Our expert has back-to-back doctorate degrees with specialization in clinical psychology from the University of the Philippines and a degree in psychology and guidance. She is the chairperson of the Tarlac State University Research Ethics and Review Committee. She also co-chairs the Psychological Association of the Philippines Educational Psychology Division, a certified specialist in both assessment psychology and educational psychology. She used to serve as an international accreditor of Tarlac State University in partnership with a Russian register based in St. Petersburg, Russia. An expert in the field of guidance counseling and human resource management and development for over 2 decades. We are so proud to welcome Associate Professor of Tarlac State University, Dr. Marie Paz Angeles.
A great day, everyone who are watching out there. I do hope and pray that all is well with you and your family. I am Dr. Marie Paz H. Angeles, a certified educational psychologist and a certified assessment psychologist, and currently the co-chair of the Educational Psychology Division of the Psych Association of the Philippines. Similarly, I am an associate professor of psychology at the Tarlac State University. I am here to share with you my presentation entitled Career Pathing, Growing to be Fulfilling. This is in advocacy in partnership with the Philippine Sports Commission, Rise Up, Shape Up. Allow me to share my PowerPoint. I'm happy to be in this webinar. So basically, everyone aspires to have a purpose or meaning in their career, and of course in our life. We would like to create a niche as a person and as a professional. So generally, what we do every day, every month, and of course, along this life. So impacts the way we choose and decide whatever career path we are into. So as an individual, you might be thinking at this moment, I know you might know your career, of course. We are professionals. You have your educational competencies. But at this point in time, maybe you might be having some kind of, second thought. Are you really very happy with the career path that you have chosen? Are you in the right field of expertise? Are you in the right journey and venture as to your skills and competencies as a person and as a professional? So what expert says basically is that, unfortunately, most of us do not know how to make a job decision that leads to a very satisfying life. Because being happy is very relative. Success is relative. It depends upon the person on how he or she perceive what success is. Very few parents, teachers, mentors urge us to think about this or give us mental models to use, as what Nathaniel Kolok, a CEO, said. We tend to get nibbles of what is meaningful work, even, of course, in our early 20s. When we graduated in our collegiate degree, we are so idealistic. We like to create a niche and we like to create an impact. As a result, we often pick jobs for the wrong reasons, as what other authors suggest, like Dillon. So we look for things that we are proud to talk about. Of course, as a professional, as a fresh grad, or maybe in a middle career person, we would like to have a very enriching resume or CV. But rarely are those the things that translate to satisfaction. It's a point to ponder. So what is basically career coaching or coaching career? Coaching career is a type of job that focuses on helping others fulfill their potential. Meaning, being a coach, you are instrumental in the making of the other person, achieving his or her potential in the certain field that he or she is into. As a coach, you encourage, you strengthen the skills of others in a variety of professional and personal settings. Is coaching a good career? Of course it is. A career in coaching allows you to do exactly what you love to do and where you are naturally good at. And along this line, you are making a great living. Professional coaches see coaching as an ultimate quote unquote win-win situation because you are instrumental in helping others achieve their goals by working in a meaningful, purposeful, and lucrative profession and one that you or he enjoys so much. So, generally, as a professional, as a degree holder, we all come across a certain point in our life wherein we are very reflective. What kind of career path are you going to pursue or undertake? So what basically is a career path? Career path is a sequence of jobs that leads you to a short or long-term career goals. That would lead you to success and that would define you as a person and as a professional. So some follow linear career path within one field, but other goes through other paths, other sides of the coin. There are four types of career path. You can venture in a job, in a business, in knowledge-oriented career or jobs, and of course, skill-oriented career or jobs. Pathways might include a lot, like for example, in arts and communication, business, management, marketing, technology, engineering, manufacturing, industrial technology, health sciences, human services, natural resources, and agricultural science. Of course, there are career paths which leads to being an administrator, advertising, communication, customer service, editorial, of course, being an educator, education to insurance, career change, engineering, human resource, retail, and coaching. It might be coaching in sports, counseling coach, coaching in counseling, being a career coach, life coach, or family coach. So generally, our career is so amazing. It could lead to varied paths. Along this line, it is a conglomeration of varied aspects of our being human and being a professional. It entails our interests. What are you good at? What are the things that you enjoy doing? And of course, your values as a person and as an individual. What do you really hold on? What is your philosophy in life? And of course, your skills. Like, for example, you're very good in sports such as basketball, boxing, you're good in driving, in cooking. These are skills which are added to what you have as a professional. Of course, our education means a lot. Education has become our ladder to succeed or to success. And that leads us to our development personally, professionally, and of course, in terms of our career and relationship. It is finding a niche in this world through our chosen career. Other calls it as a vocation or a job. So career pathing entails, the first step, discovering what you are talented on, your skills, your passion. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? What are you good at in terms of your exploration, in terms of adventure? It's promoting who you are as a person and as a professional through your chosen career path. As an individual, we are all confronted with this at some point in our life. Who can help me make change or advances? You are blessed and lucky if there are mentors or coaches behind your back who are always there to assist you. But there are professionals and individuals with no one beside them, to keep track on what is going on in their lives. So generally, we are confronted with what career options are available, right? Isn't it? When you graduated in college, you are so idealistic. I still remember the day when I graduated AB Psychology at the University of the Philippines. I was so idealistic. I want to work in Makati. I want to prove my worth as a person and as a professional. What career options are laid before me, along my pursuit, along my degree? What competencies are required in the role that I am applying? What learning gaps do I have? What responsibilities are available to help me develop and should impact me in my chosen career or job? Should I join another company? Will I be joining this company? These are decisions that are laid before us as a professional. Of course, there are certain points in our life wherein we wonder, can I create a map? Looking at my life now, as a professional from my UP days, life has changed magnificently. It's a 360 degrees turn. I did not expect that I will become a psychology professional, creating a niche in our country and around the globe. I am passionate in my research. I go in varied countries like US, Canada, Australia, just to present my research, finding my niche as a psychology professional in the Philippines and across the globe. Looking at it now, life is like a puzzle. You will only be able to realize that you have achieved a lot looking back. And of course, moving forward. It is all about the plan. Why are you here? Why is it that God gave you the life? Of course, you have a mission. Every one of us has a mission to share. We have a role to play why we are born. I think everyone would agree. Where are you now is a great blessing. We are blessed, we are alive, we are blessed, we are healthy against this pandemic, right? Our health, our life is a great blessing. We need to be grateful day by day with where we are and what we have. We just have to be grateful and appreciate whatever we have by the grace of God. Of course, we need to look into when are you going to do this plan? In what way or how are you going to achieve your targets or your goals? What strategy or mindset, or paradigm are you going to apply? Who will be the persons who will assist you along this line? You are lucky and blessed if you have a very supportive family and friends to assist you along this line in drafting or crafting your career path. You know what? As a psychology professional, life is about balance. We always have to find balance in terms of the way we think, what runs through our thoughts. It is very challenging to be human, to live a very meaningful life, but that makes the sense. You should find balance, mind, body, spirit, and the soul. We need to take care of you, quote unquote. Do you agree that you are a product of your own thoughts? What your mind can conceive, you can achieve. What your mind is set to achieve, you will definitely achieve. It's having a positive mindset. It's being proactive. It's positive psychology. Life is about balance. Life is about finding the right trend to serve. Of course, life has a lot of challenges. There are a lot of waves. Every one of us now on earth, in this world, is challenged. We need to be more resilient. We need to be proactive. We need to swim with the flow and we need to take care of our health in order to survive in this pandemic. By the grace of God, I know we can. And we have to believe that this all too will pass. This will all come to pass by the grace of God. Our attitude means a lot. Approaching every day with enthusiasm, confidence, and a positive outlook is a great blessing. What happened is only 80%, or rather 20%. How you react to what happened is 80%. What's my point? It's our personal attitude, it's our personal values, which makes a lot of difference in who and what you are now. I suppose that regardless of age, regardless of socioeconomic status, regardless of educational attainment and background, rich or poor, black or white, Asian, Chinese, Americans, regardless of our race, attitude is universal, like values is universal. You are a product of your own attitude. I suppose there are some who would agree with me, and I suppose that there are some who would reject my point. But you know what? We are a product of our own thoughts. Where you are now, what you are now, is your own choice and decision. It's a product of your own choice and decision. Generally, we have a very beautiful story. Every one of us, as a unique person, as a unique individual, you have a very beautiful story to tell. What is your story? Through this magnifying glass, let's unravel the beauty of how it is to become a very successful person, in the sense that you feel so contented, you feel so at peace because you are able to accomplish what makes you happy and what really is your choice and decision. Number one, know what meaningful means. As a person, are you really respected by your colleagues in the field? Are you being challenged? Are you growing? Do you believe in your personal life mission? Meaningful means something different for each individual because we are unique, we are in some way different. We are similar yet different, you know. There are four categories to having a meaningful career. First is legacy. You know, what is legacy? I remember a friend of mine during my college days at UP Diliman telling me, you know, the legacy that you can bring to this world when you die, you need to write a book, plant a tree, and bear a child. You know, I was able to write a book. I was able to plant a tree. But sad to say, I wasn't able to bear a child. So legacy is about having concrete outcomes of your work. What do you want to achieve? Of course, you know, you may spend a lot of day responding to emails, attending to meetings, you know. How does it define you? Are you really happy? I know having online classes, having work from home, having a lot of Zoom webinar is in some way challenging, exciting, but at the same time, it is in some way stressful mentally. And of course, psychologically, right? I know you would not and you would say, yes, I am true, right? But in some way, it's a matter of, you know, having the kind of right mindset, you know, looking at something positive in what is going on. So as a person, what legacy are you going to leave on this earth? When a person dies, the mark the individual left on the world represents individual legacy. It is about the richness of the individual's life, including what the person has accomplished and the impact she or he had on people and places. It feels so good to know at the end of the day when there are a lot of people who recognizes that you have touched their lives positively. As an educator, as an educational psychologist, and as a psychology practitioner, I feel so good. I feel so blessed when some of my students message me personally telling me, thank you, Dr. Paz, because we have learned a lot from you. You know, that really means so much to me. That makes me so fulfilled. Ultimately, the story of a person's life reflects the individual legacy. Are you thinking at this point, maybe some of you are in a reflective mode, right? At this point in your life, looking at your age, have you really worked on the kind of legacy you are going to leave on this earth? Are you really, you know, focused or bent on that? Or, you know, just do good. God will do the rest. Number two, mastery. These are the strengths that you want to improve on, you know. It's nice to be a master of a certain field. I am blessed. I am grateful to God. With my education at UP, I was able to find my niche in the psychology field, you know. I did not realize that I will go this far in my career, in my advocacy as an educational psychologist, as an assessment psychologist, as a psychology practitioner, as a researcher, as an educator, because of my field in psychology. You know, having a comprehensive knowledge or skill in a subject or accomplishment that reflects your mastery. It is the sense of having control over the forces that affect you, having a psychological health and well-being. The key is that you are using this strength in the way that you find rewarding. When you love what you do, it's not about money. It's the kind of intrinsic motivation and satisfaction that you get out of what you are doing, right? It is so fulfilling when you are able to accomplish your passion and you are able to, achieve your targets consciously and unconsciously. As a person, as a social being, we impact the lives of others. What I say, my words, my actions, my attitude, my facial features, my gestures online impact the attitude and behavior of the person in this online class, in this webinar. I suppose that you feel me. You could feel the energy and passion that I have as a psychology practitioner, Being good at something you don't enjoy doesn't count, says Kolok. It has to be something that you really love. Okay? Having the freedom. Human freedom is a social concept that recognizes the dignity of the person. Freedom is inherently valuable because it plays a role in human progress. Being financially free, you have the salary, the benefits, the flexibility you need to live the life that you want. Of course, every one of us is dreaming to be financially free at the end of the day. At the end of our career, that we are financially stable. We could live the good life that we want because we have, saved, we have invested not only in money, in terms of our profession and in our career, and being fulfilled, having a sense of contentment and peace and joy within you. For some people, it might mean having a high paycheck that allows you to have exotic vacations, traveling abroad, being a wanderlust. I really love traveling abroad because I get to learn other cultures. It's education beyond the classroom. It's a very enriching culture, I love traveling. I am a wanderlust. I am who I am also now because of the product of all my troubles. It's a conglomeration of a lot of factors, my education, my family, my friends, my career, my colleagues, the positions that I handled, my profession as a psychology professional, my membership in psych association, my church membership. All this contributed or contributes to who I am now. Alignment. It refers to having the correct positioning of something. Alignment of your thoughts, your life choices and direction. And of course, along with your core values. Life is beautiful when you have finally chosen and found the right career and job or vocation or mission that you really desire to have. Alignment is when we listen to our intuition and move through the world, embodying our true self-worth. What are your beliefs? What are your priorities? Are they aligned with your organization, with your company? Are they aligned with what you are doing now? How do people treat each other in your company or in your organization? Are you really happy with the kind of culture that you have in your work setting? That really defines us. Along this line, we need to form a hypothesis. If you're unsure what matters most to you, give it a thought. You need to reflect. Ask yourself, what made me most happy? What makes me happy? Happiness is relative. It is very subjective. It depends upon what really makes the person happy. You know, what did I find most frustrating? Frustrating. What makes me frustrated might not make you frustrated because we are unique individuals. You know, we need to think long term. What job do I want? And what life do I want? As a mature professional, as a mature human being, I know you were able to find your niche. Come to think about it. Think about where you want to be 5 years from now. Let's pray together. The pandemic has gone by that time, right? 10 years from now, where will you be? What career choice are you into? 20 years from now, are you living the good life that you like and you so desire? A meaningful career doesn't happen to you. You need to create it proactively. It reflects your intentional choices and decisions in life, your actions, your plans, you know, your career path. I just would like to share with you the 7 best ways to create an exciting and fulfilling career. Of course, number 1, you have to be curious. When we are curious, we are open, right? Our mind is exploring. It unravels the beauty of what is going on. We are open to new ideas, experiences, and possibilities. Life is always rich in possibilities, you know. Live the good life. You be open to meet new people, learn new things, enjoy the beauty of simple life. Open, are you open to leaving behind outdated mindsets? You know, is your mindset so limiting? It's like a rubber band you need to stretch. Go beyond your comfort zone. It's about time, you know. Being curious is being open. It fuels our passion and our desire to move on and to grow. And we have to remember, you need not do it alone. You have to seek, expertise from mentors. Being a sports coach, you need to seek mentorship from veteran or expert coaches, right? Trusted advisor, because you know they will be able to teach you a lot. Life is so meaningful beyond the corners of the classroom. Our enriching experiences day by day makes us more what? Passionate, desirous of achieving our goal. The people we meet in one way or another, they are God's blessing for you to learn and value every moment that you have, you know. Third, you have to be willing to fail. I remember there are a lot of successful people like Steve Jobs, right? Failure and success aren't mutually exclusive. They are connected. With every fall, you need to rise. It is in the process when you fall that you learn. Leaders use failure as fuel. You have to be thankful. You have to be positive. You have to maintain the grit and perseverance to keep going. Life is always a series of chances and opportunities. It's time for us to, align our values, align our priorities, align our goals and dreams with our plans. What do we really want? Where do we really want to be in the near future? Who will be the people you like to be with you along this line? By reframing failure as an ingredient of success, you'll adjust your mindset to a more positive one where you see failure as a necessity. Life becomes more challenging when there are varied setbacks and obstacles. You will be able to enjoy happiness because at one point in life you were sad. You will be able to enjoy, experience the true meaning of anger because at one point in time, a certain circumstance or situation, a person or a stimulus led you to become angry to the maximum. You were able to learn how persevering you are, how patient you are, how self-controlling you are because you were, you know, uh, you were tested against the wall. Of course, you know what I mean. It is in every failure that you learn to get up and rise above and move on. You have to think non-linear. Lose the notion that there's only one road to greatness. There are varied paths along this life. We have different choices and decisions. There are varied options in front of us. Veering off the predictable paths means you are willingly seeking complementary education, skills, and experiences that would enrich you more as a person and as a professional, to have a very beautiful story, to leave that kind of legacy. You need to create an impact. You need to find your niche. You need to find that something that you are passionate about and go to that direction. When people push you against the wall, learn from there and rise above. Next, you have to check your mindset and perspective. As I always say, I am a cognitive psychologist. I adhere to the context and principle. What your mind can conceive, you can achieve. You are a product of your own thoughts. Come to think about it. I might be wrong, right? I might be correct. It's about time to ponder and think about. Is what I am saying making sense? Your perspective is the lens through which you view yourself. You know, you are the one who knows your potential. You are the one who knows your strengths, your weaknesses, you know what I mean. You are the one who feels threatened. You are the ones who feels excited with opportunities. It's your private self. It's your self-talk that really means a lot. Having a varied paradigm or mindset. I always believe and agree with the context of Edward de Bono, Six Thinking Hats. It's very, very challenging. You need to be in that higher order thinking skills. Analyze, synthesize, evaluate. Having that kind of perspective coupled with a very positive mindset would impact your very beautiful story. You know what I mean? In addition, when you check your mindset and your perspective, it influences your behavior and of course your own thoughts. A lot of times, a lot of ideas and thoughts runs to our mind. Sometimes we are engaged in rumination. A certain thought keeps on repeating and repeating and it drags us down. Sometimes we are into thought attack. A certain idea popping up and it feels, it reflects your mood, your behavior, your attitude, and your dealings with people. Come to think about it, at a certain point in our life, we became so unfair to the people around us because we are so engrossed with our own thoughts. Ruminating thoughts that keep on popping. It's about time. Let loose, Is there's a thought that is in you that is bogging you down for so many years? Is it something, relative to a relationship? Something to speak about your past? Let go. Forgive. Life is beautiful. Life is always a choice and a decision. Forgive people. You will become happier. When we are pessimistic, we tend to adopt a victim mentality. Come to think about it. When you compare yourself with others, you will end up becoming vain and bitter. Was there ever a point when you tried to compare yourself and at the end you were so, wow, I'm so great, I'm successful? No, that doesn't really happen. At the end of the day, you will cry because you will feel bitterness and emptiness, right? So do not compare because other people's story is different from yours. His family background is different from yours. Even I say fraternal twins, identical twins, they still differ in a lot of ways. The fact that they were bred or reared in a certain kind of home environment with a kind of parenting style, still they are different. Sometimes we tend to judge others and make up our minds. I think it's being human. But being mature individual, we need to rise above. We need to reflect a certain kind of attitude that ignites passion and positivity. It feels so good when people would love to talk with you because you are enriching, because you are inspiring. It feels so sad to realize when people doesn't want to talk with you because you're nega, quote unquote, because you're toxic. Come to think about it. Have you realized that? At one point in your life, are people excited to see you and to be with you? Or are people closing their doors? Especially now, of course, it is pandemic. We are in social isolation. Life has become so challenging all the more now, right? I think everyone would agree with me, psychologically speaking. Sometimes you wake up, you are stressed. Sometimes you wake up, you are so anxious. Sometimes you might wake up, you are so depressed. It's normal, it's normal. But you need to rise above and learn from there. You need to find beauty in simple life. You need to find beauty in nature. You need to find beauty with where you are. Your ecology, your environment now at home. It has become your haven of safety against the pandemic. Admit it or not, right? The people there, your family members. Isn't it amazing that you were able to get connected all the more? This is something positive that is brought about by the pandemic, right? Similarly, if you are stuck in a fixed mindset, you lose a lot, right? What is worse is that when you allow fear to creep in, it affects your entire system. Of course, at some point in our life, we have experienced being afraid of something. That is being human, right? No one is exempted from experiencing a lot of emotions, I tell you. Regardless of race and age and social status, academic status, rich or poor, young and old. We all experience fear, a certain degree of fear, right? But basically because it depends upon also on how you define fear. What makes you afraid of, right? You know what I mean? We have our own personal story. We have our own personal world, professional world, right? So we create the life that we have. So what is the challenge now as a professional, as a coach? You have to switch your growth mindset. You know, having a growth mindset means you believe you can and you will improve. And you always see that there's a light at the end of the tunnel, right? In this pandemic, I always tend to believe this will all come to pass by the grace of God. I just try to make the most of what I can do, like having this webinar, Being online is not a hindrance or obstacle for me not to be able to touch lives of other people. It has become a channel for me to find meaning in what I do as a psychology professional. So number 6, move out of your comfort zone. Break the iceberg. Keep going. You know, the pandemic is very challenging, but it is proven also that it has opened a lot of doors and windows. It only depends on the kind of thinking that you have. We are the one creating our future. Our mind is so, powerful. It's the CPU of our brain. The brain is the CPU, Central Processing Unit, right? It has been likened or compared to a computer. So without the brain, how are you? You know, thought ideas starts from the way you conceive in the brain. And of course, our entire system, our physiological aspect, our body is aligned with how our brain works. If I will not think that this hand will not be raised, will it be raised? If I will not dictate my brain that I'm going to raise my hand, will it be raised? Definitely not. But if I will communicate with my hand through the nerves that this hand will be raised, it will be raised as high as it is, right? It's a choice. It's a decision. You are the one creating your future. You are a product of your own choices and decisions in life. The kind of career that you have right now, the mission, the vocation that you are into, your advocacy, that is part of your choices and your values and your decision. It reflects of what makes you happy and what makes you fulfilled as a person and as a professional. When you challenge yourself to try something that scares you, that is very, very meaningful. You will only learn something if you will try it. You will never know unless you try it. The challenge, dare to try. And the rest is history. Number 7, this is one of the most important. You need to invest in yourself. You'll never regret investing in yourself. As our elders says, education is the greatest gift our parents, our family, our Filipino families, in our Filipino culture. Education is the only gift that they could share to the children. I think they are right. It is the best gift that my parent gave me. Sending me to school. I am a product of the public government school. From my elementary days, secondary, high school days, at college days, I am a true-blooded scholar ng bayan. I travel the world. I make connections. I'm active with American Psychological Association in Washington, D.C. I'm active with International Council of Psychologists in New York. I travel the world. I share my research. I share my passion for psychology. But you know what? I still love to go back in the Philippines. I am a true-blooded scholar ng bayan. Ang scholar ng bayan, lumalaban, I want to share what I have to the students that I have, to the youth, to others, to my countrymen. Finding my own needs as a psychology professional in our country, it makes me so fulfilled by the grace of God. Your ability to adapt, your ability to learn, your survival, your growth, you need to invest. No one could get the kind of learning and the kind of education that you have achieved, right? Having the title, we have what we call qualification inflation, right? Bachelor's degree is not enough. You need to have your master's degree. After master's degree, you need to have your doctorate degree. We are blessed in the Philippines. We are so attuned to our education. There are a lot of intelligent people in the Philippines, you know. There are a lot of brilliant people in the Philippines. I am very happy to know that. We are creative, we are brilliant in our own fields, you know. And I admire Filipinos for being so creative, for being so resilient. We rise above every storm, right? And that is so amazing. A career in coaching allows you to do exactly what you love to do and what you're naturally good at while making a great living. My passion in psychology has become my career, has become my bread and butter, and that leads me to the good life that I have now. You know, I'm grounded. I am not bragging. Everything is part of God's greater plan in my life. I am where I am now because of God's grace. Without Christ in my life, I am nothing, you know, I am nothing. The key takeaways. A career path is a sequence of jobs that leads you to goal. Your career path may not be linear, might be, you know, as diverse as it is. You can chart a path through one or more industries, organizations, avenue, or fields that you like. Many career paths involve increasing levels of responsibility. I know you are ready to take responsibility. Develop a career path, connect with peers, take advantage of opportunities, and improve your skill set. And along this line, I learned from the Dalai Lama, you know, when I attended the Happiness and Its Causes conference in Sydney, Australia, sometime in 2017. I am blessed to have, you know, a face-to-face live international gatherings with the Dalai Lama. I learned this from them. Do not let the behavior of others destroy your inner peace. As what Nike says, just do it. And along this line, I just would like to leave this quote from Steve Jobs. I basically admire Steve Jobs and his principles in life. Love what you do. The only way to do great work is to love what you do. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking. Don't settle. As with all matters of the heart, you'll know well when you found it. Thank you. Good day. Keep safe. Stay healthy. And God bless everyone. This is Dr. Marie Paz Angeles signing off.
Rise up and